Alexander. Good morning, everybody. I hope you can see my presentation. And
you have to share first.
Oh.
You're now the presenter, but you have to actually share your screen. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, great. So, yes, welcome, everybody. First, I will just introduce to you the organization of this field test and how we did it, what we wanted with this field test. The results will be presented later by my colleague, Julia Lempik, just to keep attention. First, what we already saw, iBRoad, we developed mainly these two tools. So an iBRoad-Plan, which is a renovation roadmap for building owners, and also this iBRoad-Logbook. They both interconnected, and the field test was designed to test mainly these two tools. I don't go deeper into the content of the tools now, but there's a lot of information on the website. So the field test was intended to test these tools in 3 pilot countries. These were Bulgaria, Poland, and Portugal. And we wanted to have in each country 10 energy auditors. And each auditor should test 2 buildings, so 20 buildings in each country. That makes overall 60 roadmaps and 60 logbooks. We checked the logbook only in Germany, as in Germany there is already a roadmap and we could not test another one in parallel. So here's the schedule we followed. I don't go through it in detail, but just as an overview, we started with the training material, had train the trainer seminar, managed the whole auditor's training, and started the evaluation phase very early, already during the field test phase, and put the results together into these 2 reports you see on the very right. It started then with the training, traveling to these 3 countries and have an on-site training. Just as an impression, the auditors, they really had to learn a lot. It was a whole day training for them. And the auditors, they were provided with a toolkit. So, of course, they got access to the online tools, so to the roadmap, respective an assistant to create this roadmap, then access to the logbook, as well handbooks for auditors. And during the field test, we ran a telephone hotline, and this was run by the energy agencies in the respective countries and in their language. So these we saw before, these are the handbook and the training toolkit. They are still can still be downloaded on the website. And we start from these 2 tools. We start with the iBRoad-Plan. So we explained them in detail how to manage it, and we divided this into 5 steps. And for each step, we provided a specific material. So not for the initial contact with the owner, but for the on-site visit when the auditor go first time to the building. We gave them a checklist, which they didn't need to follow, but if they follow it, they were sure not to forget any specific issues. After this on-site visit, they had to calculate the present building state first with their usual calculation software. And this looks like entering the building envelope, so surface areas and U values, enter the building equipment, heating, domestic hot water, and cooling maybe, calculate the EPC data, and calculate energy cost. So this is what they had to do for the present building state. The really core feature of the renovation roadmap are these renovation steps and how to define them. And this is something very new to the auditors, and therefore we gave them guiding questions, we gave them templates to really show them what might be the best approach or what might be questions to really help them through this defining stage. And also we had these 5 principles of the roadmap. I don't go through all of them, but maybe the most important principle from our view is this on the left side, the best possible principle, saying in order to reach the climate targets, we have to use every opportunity that is there. And as building components have long life cycles, like 40 or 50 years, we really have to do it the best way we can, not meaning best no matter what it costs, but best in this specific or individual case. So the other 5 principles are about having this individual context, having it attractive and motivating, so auditors could orientate on these principles. And the last step, of course, is how to create the real roadmap, so the document. And therefore, we explained this roadmap assistant tool, which is like a printing device. So you enter the results, the calculation results, into this format, and it's transferred into the unified design of the renovation roadmap. So they learned to handle all these things. And in the end, the final result are the pages of this renovation roadmap. And having done this, we came to the logbook. Auditors had to learn what it is, and mainly the logbook consists of 4 parts, you can say. So the most important certainly is the data storage, which is really comprises a lot of data. Having entered this data, it can be assessed, and this is what the logbook also does. So we have an assessment of the building performance. We can show the envelope performance with colors, and we can show the equipment performance, so for heating and domestic hot water. And yes, there's a color coding behind this, so starting from red and ending in green for the different building components. And the thing about the logbook is that you can have different building states. So for each construction that's done in the building, there's a new building state, and you can see the development of the building in time. The evaluation itself consisted of 3 surveys. So we started with a survey among the auditors. How did they get along with the tools, with the whole product? Of course, we asked the building owners, was it helpful for them? And we also asked our country partners, the energy agencies that helped us with the whole field test. And we put these into the evaluation reports that can be downloaded. And we also developed improvements for the tools. The surveys were printed questionnaires, and most of them were like multiple choice questions, so to make it really easy for the homeowners and the auditors to fill them in. The topics were mostly in parallel for homeowners and energy auditors, so we can compare the results if they were there for both. We could compare their impressions, how they saw this on-site visit, and so have many evaluations in parallel. We recommended them to fill in the questionnaire in parallel to their work, so they don't lose any information and don't forget anything. And of course, we told them which documents we like to collect after the field test. So of course, we needed the roadmaps that were created, we needed access to the logbook, and also we needed the questionnaires back. And the country partners, the energy agencies, we asked them about, of course, the experience with the auditors. They also managed the telephone hotline. And we also asked them how they got along with the tools and the national adaptation of the tools.